That yesterday was quite funny, wasn't it? It was actually quite funny. Now, depending on like my biology getting in the way of my stream, this may or may not be a shorter stream than usual because I don't like taking intermissions. I just don't think that that's the right thing to do in a time when like no, this can be a good thing if I can spin it around to like make a freaking joke out of it. And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, go ahead and watch my yesterday's stream. That is completely okay. Now, I have some special announcements I want to make after today's stream later on, but I don't know how much time I'm gonna leave out for that either. So it's kind of basically it's just an announcement, nothing too severe. Depending on how much you depend on me, you guys can say oh no, the horror, but like. Yeah, don't overreact to it. Don't overreact to whatever I say. But let's just start out with our casual and like obviously predicted philosophy session today. And this might like come out of very suddenly for many people, considering the fact that I just like had just regular challenge session just yesterday, but then now I wanna say like philosophy of 1984. But then some people would be asking the actual good questions such as what the hell is 1984? And trust me, even after like knowing about it, I still don't get it. But like no, this is not about the year 1984 where like well technically it is, but like you'll see what I mean soon. But it's not about the year like back then when when the Cold War was still happening, I think, and then all this stuff like that. Hello, Hua Piao Piao. Hello, Miss Her Strawberry Cow Cow. How was your day today? So basically, we're gonna talk about this book here. Now, I technically have not finished this book, but only thing I have left at this moment is appendix at the very, very end of it, and I just couldn't get myself to read it because I was really struggling to finish the whole book. I'm not much of a reader, okay? I don't really like reading that much. If you guys don't know this book, this is George Orwell's 1984. Yes, the book is literally called 1984, where yeah, it's considered one of, if not one of the best like books of all time apparently, and it's a story. I'm not gonna spoil anything. This is not about spoiling like the book in general. Of course, I'm gonna give my opinions of the book as well. But the thing about it's if I have to like bring it into like a simple term, it's basically the world is a dystopia. Everybody's being controlled, and North Korea. That's all you have to know. That's pretty much the whole plot of the movie. I mean, not the movie. The book. The book. Yes, that is the plot of the book. I like I said, I don't read a lot of books, and to be frank, I'll be very frank with you. People say this is the best book of all time, and I'm gonna give my honest opinion. I don't like this book. I'll explain to you right now in the most non-controversial way as possible. I hated it. And this is very simple because like I think it was a very good form of literature. I genuinely thought that it's a very good writing. It has a very good idea and like many philosophy that we can like talk about today. But just because I figured out by reading this book that just because something is a very good writing doesn't necessarily mean that it's a good story. Because the whole point, every single character in this book is designed and was made in order to be as boring as possible, because that's actually one of the most important part of the novel itself. People are boring and they're suffering because of it. That's just the whole point of that book. And I can't blame like Missy George over here for like trying to like evoke this idea, but at the same time it felt like I was just reading a textbook at the end of the day. Like I couldn't help myself but just like drowse off. Like I keep getting sleepy because how long is this gonna go on for? But then like suddenly there's this new character that's introduced, and I was like, gets better. Yeah, it gets better. I don't need you guys try not to spoil anything for the people who haven't read it. But basically, I was just getting drowsy like the whole time, and then like suddenly the character gets introduced. And I was like, oh crap, well, who the hell is this guy? And then I had to read back like couple of lines before that to like figure it out, and I still don't know. And I can't even tell if that was relevant because like some of the characters never come back anyway. So it's not a spoiler. I'm not gonna say it, but it's good in terms of literature. Yeah, I have to agree. This is why I said like just because it's a good literature doesn't actually make it a fun or like interesting story. And it makes sense for as the plot, but it just as someone who literally makes a career right now, minor career, having fun, just talking about philosophy on a daily basis, all these surprising like internal like questions that like George was trying to like tell us and like just trying to like evoke, I was just telling myself, I already thought of all this. Why do I need to like keep reading this? I've thought of all these situations already. It doesn't make any sense. So, since it doesn't make any sense that like George has done it and then like he somehow became the best author, one of the best authors of all time, and then so why not just talk about the philosophy in general? You know, skip the freaking story, skip the whole like the depressing world and as such. No, our world is just okay enough that we can just discuss it right here, right now, without having to worry about all these like build up. Who wants that anyway? So here we are. Today we're gonna talk about George Orwell's world, and without spoiling, and just talk about the philosophy behind it. So the first question that I would like to ask you guys, as like the general start of this whole conversation, is how much power do you think you guys have? Like just like in general. The prose is about how it reveals itself. Yeah, I understand, but just my first question that I just want to ask you guys is how much like power do you guys believe that you guys have? Like, and just think about it for a moment. If, for example, you were told to do something that you hate and you would rather die than like actually do it, then how confident are you that you are able to like go ahead and like just die before you actually do the thing that you hate? How confident are any of you guys from doing that? And I think that question is like very reminiscent to the previous stream about philosophy I made about like the idea of acceptance and just being ignorant, which is very similar. You guys can check that stream out. It's also in my YouTube channel. But basically, this is what I thought. I kept telling myself throughout the whole like my lifetime that like if somebody were to tell me to not to do something that I don't want to do, I thought I would be confident that I could just literally just say no, I will not do it, and then just let my life go on as it is, because I want a life that is very mine, you know, just mine in general. That's the best way I can put it. So I thought that was the case, and I still believe that to a certain extent, that I have the confidence that I can do it. But here's the thing. Okay, let's just say you have the willpower to like just say no, at least just to like go ahead and say I'm sorry, I don't think this is right for me, so I'm not gonna do what you want me to do. Okay, that says the person who requested that you do that thing that you hate. Okay, now I have a gun on your head. What would you do now? And immediately, even then, some people who are brave or like dumb, I can't tell the difference, but some people would say, oh, I will still like stand up for my word, and then I stand up for what I believe in, and then just take the bullet if it has to. I don't care. But those same people probably have never been in that kind of situation where they would have to like give up their very lives in order to stand up for what you believe in. And that's I think that's this very scary idea that is being introduced in this book here. Because like in general, how confident are most of you that you can actually stand up for what you believe in? And if standing up for yourself is the right thing, does that mean any rules that you follow right now is not okay? And this is where it gets complex, because in the book where like these people are forced to do things through like threats and torture and all these bad stuff. It's in our world, in our universe, some countries definitely still have that. You know, like North Korea, for example, or like some Islamic states where if like some masculinity from female would like risk you getting stoned to death, those kind of things still exist. But in a world where like many people's freedom are quote to quote protected by law, how much power do you think you guys still have? Because even like even in the freest country right now, and I'm saying this right now, the freest country right now is America, and I still stand by that to a large extent. But even in America, people there's still rules for people to like prevent them from protesting and only allowing them to protest in a certain way. And if you don't do it, then you go to jail for it. But some stuff, like if you go to jail for this, if you still go to jail for despite you doing the thing that you believe in, is that really different from basically torturing someone in order to like forcibly make them assimilate to society? I would argue definitely yes. If right now a person were to go ahead and like murder just because he thought it was a good thing, then the law itself is the thing that tortures the people and quote to quote locks them up, isolates them from the rest of society in order to get them to assimilate. Because while you are one person, which is fine, but you are no more right than the rest of the world, because the rest of the world in the end is what actually creates the definition of right. And you might think that this is really different from like the people in the novel or like in North Korea who just wants to have basic rights. But how is it any different? Like some people in like North Korean states just are bored and then just want to like have some more freedom, and the government, because the government is saying that they are the right thing and they need to listen to them, otherwise they'll shoot them, the North Koreans have no choice but to oblige. Is that any different from like a natural rapist who wants to rape for no apparent reason getting locked up because he didn't listen to the law? And I would argue not necessarily, because like there's definitely like level of like freedom involved in like democracy and stuff and all that, which we can discuss later as well. But in the general, you have arguably very little power as to like how much you can get away with. And even the things that you think is right now, like I'm pretty sure none of you are murderers or like rapists or like, because all my people who watch my videos are the best of the best. But even you guys, maybe just because you guys accept the fact that like most of the law that you guys listen to are right, and you don't and it doesn't mean that like you have to go. Are you saying that the law is just because you yourself believe it, or is the leader, or is your country's leader, or anyone who's above you just saying to you to just accept it? And this is where it gets really, really bizarre, because what does it mean to actually believe in something, you know? What does it actually mean to believe? Like if the world were to tell you the murder is bad, or let's just go with not murder, but like just generally eating is bad, or like enjoyment is bad. Let's just go back to this book. Enjoying is a sin in this book. So if the world were to say enjoyment is bad, and you are about a one mind telling people that no, it is not in any way, it's not bad at all. Are you sure? Because like there's plenty of ways to like make you change your mind. And that's the thing about willpower. Yes, some of your willpower can be extremely strong, that to the extent that you can be considered stubborn, but there are infinite ways to actually make you suffer in order to like get you to like believe in something that you would never have agreed to if those people did not torture you to do so. And you just have to wonder, is that the case for every single rule, or like every single like policies that's made by the government or anything? And I'm not trying to say the anarchism is bad, and I wanted to get to this as well, but does that mean that like technically speaking, if you didn't care about the law and if no one did, would we have technically a morally better world than we do now? Because yes, we would have absolute chaos because everyone would do whatever the hell they wanted, but at least now they know for a fact that whatever they believe in is not forced on them due to like government interference or like education or like or the anyone under your boss who are telling you to do something that you would otherwise never have done. So the basic premise that I want to talk about is what does it mean to actually believe and know yourself, like just genuine. And this is what philosophers apparently like talk about all the time. What the hell is knowledge? Because the book heavily implies the fact that I'm not this isn't technically a spoiler, but the overarching theme is that you are but a one person, and the government, in this case the big party that's like ruling over these people, is the right. They can define what right is, and you have no say in this, because the only way you can possibly be right is by actually agreeing with the leaders or the head or the party above you. Is that necessarily any different from our society right now, where you're just supposed to accept the fact that yes, drugs are bad, and yes, murder is bad, and oh no, thieving is wrong? When does that mean that everyone is on the their own country is actually out for them to threaten them in order to force them to assimilate? Now, I do think that murder is bad, and I don't want you guys to think anything otherwise. But at the same time, I do know for a fact that if I were to change my mind suddenly, every single governmental office or any leader of any kind will come after me as soon as they get the chance. Anytime they have the chance to come up, they will just immediately come after everybody. And I can't help but feel like it's extremely similar to what's going on in this book anyway. It's too similar, and then I'm sure the plot of this book takes it to an extreme level, really really extreme level, even above North Korean and stuff like that level. But when it's when George Orwell tried to make this book, he wanted to show the downside as to socialism, communist and fascism is, and how it creates a dystopian world where everybody is forced to be ruled, and it's not actual socialism that George Orwell wanted to invoke, I guess. But I can't tell whether or not he thought of this as the whole society in general. Anyone that's afraid to break the law, the only reason they are afraid to break the law is because the people who come after you break the law is one, thousands and thousands of cops, and two, probably armed. So is it right for you to follow and just accept the way things are, like many of the people in this book has, even though you are technically just being threatened in order to believe the things that you do? And you might not believe this, but in the end of the day, what's actually stopping any of us from committing crimes, any crimes whatsoever? What is the definition of a crime? If you just go ahead and just search any law book, the only way that laws and crime can exist is because the government exists, any leadership, the party, or the country exists. Because, well, they need their order, but what order means to them may not be the same to you. But if it's not the same to you, well, guess what? They'll go to war with you. This can be seen in many situations, when civil wars happen, due to different parts of the countries having different ideologies. If you don't agree with something that the majority believes in, then you're most likely gonna get killed. And you don't have to be in a dystopian world where you have absolutely no choice but to go ahead and accept what the view of the country or the government. But and you don't have to do that. It's just very similar in that regard, as to you can't what can you break? What can you break when those people who are enforcing these laws have weapons and power and arguably support, because support comes. But you have to wonder as well, where does that support actually come from? Because everybody to a certain extent not everybody, most people don't want to like revolt against the government because generally they're living happy, nice lives by themselves, even though they're underneath the threat of and like torture and even like a threat from the government. I said threat twice. There. So, and this is also another theme that's actually introduced in the book to a certain extent because like yeah, there are people who just refuse to refuse to like fight back because, well, why? Because it's not worth it, you know. It's not worth it. When your lives are just as okay as it is, even though you're in a dystopian world, like there's hardly any reason for you to risk your life to like go ahead and change the whole system, you know. So when people say that we would die to like resist this, or we would be dead first before like trying to accept the whole regime or like the government, people don't realize exactly how scary it is for guns to blaze on you, or like actually like putting yourself in front line when a war starts, you know. It's terrifying. And then right now I haven't experienced this myself either, but I think that if any of you guys have like experienced that, so this would have been so good for me. Yeah. But anyways, if you guys have not experienced this, you find yourself to be extremely terrified, you know. Because it's easy for you to just say out loud that oh, I will like fight to the death to like secure this, or I will do this to protect the things I love. Okay, fine, we'll just torture you until you think otherwise. There's so many ways to make you break down, you know. You don't understand, like, yes, you can have, again, I'll say this again, you can have like the strongest willpower in the world, but that thing will break. There's just that many ways to like convince you otherwise. And I only read 5 pages to yikes. You don't have to like read the whole thing. Like personally, I didn't actually find this book interesting, but the philosophy behind it is very fascinating, which I have thought about for a very long time as well. And it just goes to show as to like when you go and then like try to like fight back against everything, how much like strength do you actually have? That's it. It's interesting, right? No, I didn't like this book. I really didn't like this book. Like, I'll say this again. Interesting literature? Yes, extremely. Like, very good literature. Interesting story? No, not really. I didn't find the philosophy behind it because I've already thought about most of it, and also the characters were designed to be extremely boring. So yeah, I was getting sleepy like all the way through until the last bit. So about Brave New World. I don't want to read more books. I hate doing this through like books because like, well, first of all, it takes a long time to read a book, and second of all, I'm too lazy. Hello Nekamiki, how are you doing? And so I'm talking about 1984. Where was I? I forgot where I was. And I just have to like just tell you guys that like if you guys think that like you can have the confidence to like risk your very lives in order to get behind on what you believe in, you're probably wrong because, well, no matter how strong your belief is, guns and threats and violence will probably overpower most of it. Is the Big Brother one in it? Yeah, it is. And I can't help but deny the fact that like how easy it is to manipulate people, you know? I just can't help but I just can't help but like think about the fact that how easy it is to just break someone, to like make them believe in what they do. And we just forget all the time that this happens like on a daily basis. If you ever get punished for doing something that's wrong that you think is right, then you're facing the very, very similar thing. Someone's trying to like break you in order to make you assimilate, like just trying to like force you into like believing their perspective. And I just can't help but like realize the fact that like it's you don't even need torture device. You don't even need guns. You don't even have to have like any sort of like weapons. Your voice can even be enough to like change someone's mind immediately. And if that doesn't work, well, their family is also like involved in it as well. So this one with the math question wrong. I don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea what you're talking about. So and yeah, that's just the theory behind it. Because like when your boss or like your teacher or like your leader just tells you that you're wrong, ultimately at the face value, I doubt that any one of us can actually we can't doubt that any of us would like not break down, you know. When I was reading that book and just seeing what the characters were going through, yeah, I read pretty much the end of it. I only have the appendix left and the reader's quotes. Yeah, but generally speaking, I couldn't help but like relate, like just reflect myself to like the situation the whole characters were in at that moment, because like when I was like tortured, and then like go ahead the bit where he said 2 + 2 is 5. No spoilers, no spoilers. But that's a very good point. Yeah, that's a very good point. Yeah, people can like make you accept craziest things just by like having the whole bit, or just by like having enough, just by breaking you down. Like, so that's the end though. Yep. Don't do it. Don't do it. But it's tough, really. It's really tough to like just. I don't know if this is something we can accept, because everybody keeps saying that they want as much freedom as they want, but even your freedom is dependent on what your leader is willing to give you. This is the reason why North Korea is not free, because because the leader demands it. Like, if you live in a democratic country right now, like, it's not hard for the government to just go ahead and switch their minds and then just go ahead and like make it an authoritarian like regime anytime they want. Anytime they desire, they can do that easily, because humans are just that easy to manipulate. We're social creatures and we depend on other people. But depending on other people would also mean that we are very easy to manipulate. It's very easy to change our minds, opinions. We don't even need threats. We can just as well just make you like, oh, you don't want to work that job? Well, too bad. We'll just take away that cash. Oh, you don't want to do this homework for me? Oh, that's too bad. No grades for you. No grades for you. And many people, and I guarantee you, most of you have like gone through like this situation where some people, like, your life is not at risk anyway. You have nothing to lose, but they just say that you won't get something like this if you don't do that. Then you have broken down your own belief and just accepted it. And it's scary how much our society, while depending on like individualism, also depends on like assimilation as well. Because assimilation, at the end of the day, always involve threats, like to a various level of degree, but inevitably involves threats. Because you can't get people to act the way you want it to if there's nothing on the line, right? If there's nothing on the line. In this book's case, well, it can be torture, your family being like arrested, or like some people going around and snitching on you. That's the threat. To you guys, it can be paychecks, fame, or like your friendship, or just other promises that some people are telling you to keep. Like all those kind of stuff. And I can't tell, because the one thing that's arguably the scariest out of the whole novel is the fact that you realize the fact that your willpower, your beliefs at the end of the day is super duper fragile. And arguably it never existed in the first place, because right now, no matter what you think you are, and no matter how much you like the government or the system that you guys live under, without a doubt, these things, those governments, those systems have affected you. As a species of human, as a human race that depends on the learning from others, knowing from others, and to have like functioning leadership, it is by far impossible for not to act in a way that supports these kind of like systems, because they will make you think that it is just genuinely right to do what they tell you to. And if you don't do it, well, too bad. You're evil. You're the bad guy. So we'll just send you to the jail cell. You'll never see your family until like 100 years, 200 years later. So I hope you feel comfortable. And I can't simply just say that I really, really want to support our system because I think that it gives us order, and I think there is certain level of assimilation that is needed in order for humanity to function the way it has been until now. But how much opportunity have people lost by just accepting and just getting allowing themselves to be brainwashed to a certain extent? Because this at the end of the day, everyone wants you to get brainwashed to the level that they that you're easier to work with. That's what the education system basically is as well. Not it's not you can't For example, you can't necessarily say that screaming at the library is necessarily bad, but education would say otherwise. And so you're taught to shut up as long as possible during class and during any kind of social event, which you don't agree with, but you want a detention if you want a detention before you change your mind. And to many people, they will say nope, nope. Sometimes people are willing to sacrifice their very beliefs and their own ideology just for them to not have to go to detention for 2 hours, which is very scary to think about. Very scary. That just means that does that mean that our belief system is just something that we can trade nilly-dally all the time, whenever we want it, just to go ahead and have ourselves a blast by sacrificing our beliefs whenever it suits us? I don't know. I really don't know, because I just think of a world where you don't have a government, don't have a system to work with, just individual rights. And I can't deny that. I can't really tell whether or not that would be the better world or that would be the worst world, because at the one hand, you completely lose control. And if you don't have control over people, well, then you have no control over anything, which is logically a terrible thing, because humans have achieved a lot by just coming together. Maybe not through the most peaceful measures, but by coming together, we have achieved most, if not everything, that humans have ever done. But at the same time, when you think about it in a way that thinks that put moral values in human freedom and stuff like that, is anarchism can we just go ahead and just deny anarchism in general? Because I can't help but imagine the fact that whether or not I'll be happier if I were to just have every single decision, every single plan up to me rather than by some sort of figure on the head. Is some of the actions that I would take illegal? Maybe, because nothing's stopping me. But does that mean that that's generally a better moral life to live? Because you're not chained by anything. There's nothing threatening you to do something. There's nothing to hold you back anymore. Is that the right way to see things, or is that just dangerous? But it's without a doubt dangerous. Yes, it is without a doubt dangerous. That's why people in this novel gets tortured and killed all the time, because it's not necessarily because what they're doing is wrong, but it's because they're powerless. They should remain powerless. Otherwise, they become dangerous to the whole freaking regime. And this is why they get arrested, they get tortured, they get quarantined and all this kind of stuff. Kind of quarantined, but it's a very my calculator fell. It's very hard thing to grasp, and the scariest part about this novel wasn't the fact that there was these characters going through hell, and I think the characters in this novel, if they were real, would say this exact same thing. But it's not the fact. What's scary is not the fact that the fact that they're being tortured. That's not the scary bit. The scariest part is the fact that this is it. There's no such thing as belief anymore, and there's nothing special about your belief, because it can be taken away and given to you, and fed to you forcefully whenever it is needed by somebody. There is then this is where it gets even more tricky, because at that point, does a you actually exist? Do you really exist as a person? Because when your like government or like your leader or like a boss or your teacher is like showing you, telling you how things should be done, showing you that this is the right way to do things, is there a you anymore? Because the novel was implying, no, there is no you. That's the whole point of 1984. There is no you. It's all about the party. If there is a you in there, we will kill it. We will destroy it. 2 plus 2 will equal 5 whether you like it or not. So that's the scary thing, because I honestly, when I see those characters, I honestly think that I will also break down. I'll probably pee my pants as soon as I get cancer, as soon as I get like torture, even before any torture begins, and I'll just accept whatever they want me to do. And but is that when it just what? But it doesn't mean that like you need to be tortured to like get rid of your beliefs, right? And it can be just much more easier, just people just arresting you, or like court-martialing you, or just going around and then saying, no, I'm not gonna be friends with you. And when your belief system is based on threats and like violence and all these things, or just uncomfortable things such as you losing a friend, for example, well, doesn't that just mean that like your beliefs is so weak that you don't even need people don't even need a gun to like make you change your mind? And also, if you don't want to change your mind and you just decide not to like accept the things, doesn't that just make you stubborn? Because people like, this is when like anti-vaxxer like ideas come from, like I don't agree with anti-vaxxers, but people have been like arguing with them that they are being stubborn all the time. They are stubborn for not thinking that vaccine is good for their children and themselves because they don't believe in the science. But at the same time, after having read this book and I've been thinking way before this as well, are they being stubborn, or are they just sticking up for their beliefs? Is there a difference? I think no, there is no difference, because well, in order to stand up for what you believe in, there is definitely some sort of level of stubbornness that you need. The only difference is the problem is they can break your stubbornness if you go to jail, and if you get tortured, and if you get like isolated from the rest of the group. So yeah, it's very easy to do that. If people wanted to, they can just lock up all the anti-vaxxers they want, and then just change their mind immediately, whether they like it or not. And I can't tell whether or not any freedom anymore actually is present, because well, the government just decided not to do anything about those anti-vaxxers, so that's why they're able to do all these things. But at the end of the day, even in countries that like allows anti-vaxxers to exist, like America for example, it's all part of their plan, because their governmental system is around freedom of speech. Well, on like the world of 1984, it's pretty similar, but it's just exactly the opposite way around. So at the end of the day, your leaders get whatever the hell they desire, and then if they don't, you're done for. You're done for. It doesn't matter how strong your beliefs is anymore, because human brains, there's limits of how much punishment it can take. It's just that simple. It's very simple. I didn't even have to talk for that long, because well, it's just genuinely simple to like manipulate people and then just get people to do what you want to. And you can just think of it as like a dog, for example. If a treat doesn't work, if a treat doesn't get your dog to do what you want it to do, well, you can always try an electric choker, and then like they'll probably start listening to you almost ASAP. And that's just how some people are treated on a daily basis, because they have to, because they're too different. because if they're too different, they become too dangerous. And that's just the funny thing that I just want you guys to think about, but not too deeply, because well, just imagine, just if you are in a situation where you have to give up what you believe in, what would you really do? What would you really do? Would you just accept it, whatever happens to you, and then just stick with your beliefs, or are you the type of person to just give in as soon as possible? Because what 1984 says is, well, both sides are not necessarily wrong, but when your system is the thing that tells what's right and wrong, can you still stand up for what you believe in, even though, well, you'll end up being wrong anyway? Anyways, that is the philosophy of 1984. Now, I didn't realize that I was gonna be able to do the whole thing, because I still have diarrhea problems that I have not came back, and I still have not recovered from at this very moment. I have some announcements I want to make. If you guys don't know, I have been like uploading these kind of sessions where like I just talk, and then and then I, after editing a little bit, I try to like put them on my YouTube channel, which is right over here, and which is fine, which was good until now recently, but I'm just gonna get straight to the announcement. I don't think I want to like make a stream every single day anymore. Like if the whole week through, because until now I have been like making stream like every single day like for the past 2 weeks, and there's some like exceptions when I was too busy, or like because something suddenly came up and I just couldn't do it. But I think I generally kept a good schedule until now. But I don't think it's a good idea for me to make these daily streams anymore, because there's a couple of things that there's quite a lot of reasons. Like for example, do you want to like have more break time? And I would answer, kind of, yeah, that's one of the reasons. But the main reason is, from the very exception of my streaming career, which started not too long ago, I have been very uncomfortable by the fact that every single video I have made on YouTube is all just streams, and which you can just generally just go and then just watch on my stream channel if you wanted to. And it was fine, and it's still fine right now, because I have no choice, because well, I can't upload anything to Twitch, and I can't edit the penises or vaginas out whenever I see them like on the stream, and I don't want to like lose the content that I made for an hour to like just disappear because of stream and risk me getting banned. So I just edited stuff and then brought it here. But the thing that makes me uncomfortable is the fact that it just lacks a lot of original content that's like YouTube worthy. And right now I don't have a lot of like YouTube video ideas that I want to work on right now. Like one of the videos that I've been telling you guys that I've been working on is another philosophy video, which I want to edit out. But I want to really do something about this YouTube channel, really, because it feels wrong to just make this just exactly the same as like my stream channel, because well, I don't know if there's any point in making this. I really don't. And the excuse I like to make is, yes, I still believe that there's nothing, because I think that all my streams are perfect. I don't think I have to edit too much of them, and I don't think there's any reason to like upload new videos, which I still stand by today. But I don't know, it just doesn't feel YouTube-ish is what I'm trying to say, is YouTube-ish. So my hope was to like either use this extra time that I want to make by like, you know, just figuring out what I want to do with this channel, whether I want to like make original content for it so that I can like get more subscribers here, or you know, just use that time to like take breaks, you know, just like I still just like think of the ways to like either make new videos here, and I still want to like try to figure out what I can make. But if I just want to take a break, then so be it. That's also a good idea in my opinion. Now this will come out as probably a bad news for a lot of you, which fair enough, but like I in this case don't really care, because I can't tell whether or not I can probably like make do with everyday streams, but I don't know if that's a good idea, because I just want to like think that something in my mind can like make this like dual thing work. But for now, I don't think that I don't think I have other choice than to like still keep uploading these like sessions on my Twitch to my YouTube channel, because at the end of the day, I still need to edit a bit of it in order to like allow so that like I don't break the content like laws or something. But I don't know, it made me very uncomfortable that I only made like very like few original videos here. You see, like just few right there. And I just wanna, I don't know if I can't tell if I wanna use that extra time to like make new content, or just take a break in general. I don't know. I think those are both good options. So the plan is very simple. Tomorrow, I don't think I'm gonna make any streams tomorrow, because the thing is, I think making an alternating like time schedule would be better. Like today I stream, tomorrow I don't. The day after that I stream again. But I don't know. I just want to try it out, because I don't know if I would be comfortable with like not streaming, because I feel like I got a bit addicted to it as well. I feel like I got a bit addicted. So yeah, I really want to like show some love to my YouTube channel. This is basically the main reason I think the break is for. Second reason, yes, I need some time, because streaming every day is not hard for me, but like I don't know if it's a good idea in the long run. Maybe if I get like more followers in the future, then maybe I'll start taking it more seriously. But not everybody can keep coming to my stream. Even Juicy Milk has days she can't come, and even Nekomiki has time that they can't come, even though I tell them to come every single day. And I can't blame them. I just can't blame them. But it's not much to explain about this. Basically, the announcement is I won't be making a stream tomorrow, because I want to just try and see what I can do with that extra time, whether it's just taking a break, or if it's just trying to figure out some new and exciting ways that new ideas or exciting things that I could create by myself, to somehow just, even though I'll continue like uploading like streams on my YouTube channel, to just maybe put enough original things in here to like make up for the fact that these two, you have to go to them individually. I want to make it worth for everyone to like check out both my channel and my Twitch account, so that they can just see the both of what they have to offer, because it feels like it's such a waste to just keep like uploading only my streams, because when it's already available on the Twitch anyway. So that's the whole plan. Tomorrow there's gonna be no stream tomorrow. I'll edit this out so that anyone who thinks there is a stream tomorrow to know that no, there's no stream today. I'm sorry, not sorry, or something. But yeah, that's just basically the announcement. Not, like I said, nothing too serious. Depending on like how much you guys love me, I guess it can be said. But think of it as something for me, I guess. This is just all for me. Like this is all bad for all of you, and I kind of get it. But like, no matter how much I love you guys, unfortunately, I just think that I love myself a little bit more. Change my mind a lot more. So anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for watching today. I hope to see you guys the day after tomorrow, and let's just see if I can like handle not streaming for a day. I don't know, and let's just see if I can do that. I think it's gonna be a very worthwhile experiment, in my opinion. So if you guys have not already, just come and follow my channel and then like subscribe. I still have to like work out the new schedule as well, which is fine. So anyways, that is all from me today. Okay. Luckily I didn't have to go and take a shit anywhere. So sorry, I shouldn't swear. I didn't have to go to the bathroom today, so I could finish my stream properly. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time. Alright, take care. Bye bye.